It is the 84th minute at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea are playing PSG in the Champions League, staring down an 8-2 aggregate deficit, meaning the combined score across their two matches has put them completely out of reach. Manager Liam Rosenior hastily scribbles on a piece of paper and shoves the note into the hands of a bewildered substitute, Alejandro Garnacho. Out on the pitch, the players pass the slip of paper back and forth, squinting at it in sheer perplexity. Up in the stands, thousands of disgusted fans simply turn their backs and stream toward the exits. A manager passing a handwritten plea to a team already losing by 6 goals paints a vivid picture of complete tactical helplessness on Europe's biggest stage. That night in Europe matches a grim domestic reality. By March 2026, following a 3-0 thrashing by Everton, Chelsea have languished down in 6th place in the Premier League. At match week 31 last season, Chelsea sat comfortably on 59 points. Today, at that exact same stage, they have scraped together just 48. That 11-point gap represents a massive regression in competitive output, occurring in less than a year. The data in the league aligns perfectly with the heavy defeats to Everton and PSG. The squad is failing to compete across every single competition they enter. When poor domestic points tallies mirror international blowouts, the evidence points to a complete unraveling of the team's defensive structure and identity. To understand the scale of the current mess, we have to rewind to the first half of the season, from August to December 2025, under former manager Enzo Maresca. Maresca's system was not flawless, but it provided the squad with a recognizable, stable tactical structure. Players knew their roles, and the team remained competitive in the upper half of the table. That stability yielded tangible rewards. In November, Maresca's functional setup earned him the Premier League Manager of the Month award. Acknowledging that the squad could execute a successful game plan just months ago highlights the sheer severity of the chaos that followed his departure. On January 8th, Liam Rosenior took over the dugout. Almost instantly, the team struggled to break down a low block, a defensive strategy where the opponent packs all their players deep in their own penalty area. This line graph tracks Rosenior's impact. Goals conceded remained stable through the fall, but starting January 2026, the data spikes upward. They now give up 1.55 goals every match. Shipping 31 goals in 20 games makes them Europe's 3rd worst defense. By attempting to overhaul the team's shape, Rosenior actively dismantled the defensive solidity that was previously keeping them in the race. The most glaring symptom of this breakdown happens on set pieces. Chelsea fields one of the tallest defensive units in the English top flight, averaging 185 centimeters in height. Yet, that physical advantage vanishes entirely because players lack basic spatial awareness. When the ball enters the box, defenders lose track of their assigned markers. These structural flaws force individual errors. A disorganized midfield frequently fails to track late runners, leaving goalkeeper Robert Sanchez completely unprotected against incoming attackers. Tactical frustration quickly bleeds into disciplinary collapse. The squad has racked up 7 red cards this season, including a recent dismissal for winger Pedro Neto. Following the Paris Saint-Germain defeat, midfielder Enzo Fernandez did not mince words with the press. He stated explicitly that the team was beaten tactically. A £231 million defense leaking goals at record rates, combined with star players publicly criticizing the setup, shows a manager who has entirely lost control of both his system and his locker room. In the broader context of the Premier League, these tactical failures carry a massive financial penalty. Chelsea's hopes of qualifying for the lucrative Champions League are rapidly evaporating. While Chelsea have managed just a single victory in their last 5 league matches, the teams directly above them are surging. Take Manchester United. Under Michael Carrick, they have leapfrogged Chelsea in the standings by implementing the exact kind of structured, balanced midfield that Rosenier's side lacks. In the ruthless math of the league table, Chelsea paralysis is actively handing Champions League qualification to their direct rivals. This string of results poses an immediate threat to Liam Rosenier's job security, drawing heavy scrutiny from the club's hierarchy. The situation carries a bitter irony. Rosenior signed a massive contract intended to keep him at the club until 2032, just 2 months ago. Today, the honeymoon is completely over. Hundreds of millions of pounds spent on elite players cannot cover for a disorganized pitch. If Rosenior cannot immediately reinstall the discipline and defensive shape the team exhibited earlier this season, he will meet the exact same brutal fate as the managers who sat in his chair before him.